Have you ever looked at a projection problem and thought, where do I even start? Should I draw the top view first or should I start with front view? And what exactly do HP, VP, inclined to HP and parallel to VP actually mean? If these terms confuses you, don't worry. Because in this video, we are not just going to draw the problem. We are first going to understand the question like an examiner aspect. Then we will solve the complete pentagonal prism projection step by step in FreeCAD. And once you understand the logic behind the construction, similar exam problems will become much easier to solve. So before we start drawing, first let us understand what the actual question is asking. Many students directly jump into the procedure and then get confused about why we are drawing a particular view first. If you understand the question correctly, the entire projection becomes very easily. The question says a pentagonal prism of side 25 mm and axis length of 50 mm rests with one of its edge on HP such that base containing the edge makes an angle of 30 degrees to HP and its axis is parallel to VP. Now let us decode the statement one line at a time. First, what is pentagonal prism? A prism has two identical bases connected by rectangular faces. Since the base is pentagonal, both ends are pentagons. The sides of each pentagon is 25 mm and the distance between the two pentagonal faces is called axis length, which is 50 mm. So mentally imagine a pentagonal box having a length of 50 mm. Now let us understand HP and VP because these two planes control the entire drawing. HP means horizontal plane. Think of HP as the ground on which an object is placed. Whenever we look object from the top, we get the top view on HP. VP means vertical plane. Think of VP as a wall standing in front of object. Whenever we look at the object from the front, we get the front view on VP. In engineering graphics, every object is observed using these two imaginary planes. Top view tells us how the object looks from above. Front view tells us how the object looks from the front. So whenever a question mentions HP and VP, immediately start thinking about the position of object with respect to these two planes. Now read the question again carefully. It says the prism rests with one of its edges on HP. This means one edge of the prism is touching the ground. So during final position, that edge must remain on XY line because the XY line represents the intersection of HP and VP. Next statement says the base containing that edge makes an angle of 30 degrees with HP. This means the prism is not standing straight, it is tilted. The base surface is inclined at 30 degrees to the horizontal plane. So somewhere in our construction, we will have to rotate the prism until the base makes 30 degrees with HP. So now look at the last statement. The axis is parallel to VP. This is very important clue. When the axis is parallel to VP, the true length of the axis will be visible in the front view. That is why we first draw the simple position and then obtain the front view before drawing the inclination. This understanding helps us to decide the sequence of construction. So our thinking process is first draw the simple position, then obtain the front view. After that, tilt the prism until the base makes 30 degrees with HP. Finally, project the required top view. If you understand this logic, the procedure becomes much easier to remember in exams and practicals.